you don't have them, if you have them taking treatment in time, all of this. So we will see why mental health is so important. So we will first begin with, so today's discussion, we will begin with first, what is stress and how stress affects every aspect of our life. And by, when I say that mental health is an integral part of general health, what do I mean by that? Then we will go on to discuss what is healthy environment or healthy lifestyle which will give you well-being and prevent any kind of emotional or mental problems, and emotional management becomes a part of it. And we will discuss, if there are any emotional or mental problems, then what kind of treatments can we give to that person without feeling a stigma that I have something that I need to be embarrassed about or that I need to hide. So let's begin first with one simple activity. I want all of you to write any stressful event that you have anxious, worried, think a lot, lose your sleep over it, lose your focus or concentration in your work, in your personal area. Are you irritable in your, at your home, in your relationships? Is it affecting your enthusiasm to work? Is it making you unhappy, unstable, irritable, mood swings, depressed, discouraged? Do you think it affects also your body? Like if you're anxious, maybe you feel that I don't want to eat, I'm not sleeping properly, I'm having lot of aches and pains, I get headache when I'm tensed, I get acidity, I get some joint pains if I'm upset, or just a feeling of not feeling refreshed once I wake up, or feeling lazy, so many things. Or you can actually have some disease like diabetes or blood pressure, heart disease, something like that. And the last but the most important question, that if this stress is completely removed from your life, how will your life change for better? What will happen if this stress is not there? If you are just free from this stress or tension, how will your life be? Now I want somebody to share with me, what was it like writing or pondering over these questions? Did it help you in any way? Have you ever thought about your stresses in those terms? Have you ever sat down and given a thought that, oh, do I have stress? What are the areas? How frequently it affects me? Is it affecting my mind? Is it affecting my body? Have you really thought about this in this systematic manner ever before? No. So, now knowing this, how will it help, do you think? Anybody? Come on, you're such a small group. I am being brave enough to talk in front of you. You can at least answer my questions. It will encourage me to share some more. You want to say something? Sit and say. No need to get up. Correct. Absolutely. So, will this clarity help you now? So, identifying the problem means being aware about the problem will really help you focus your efforts on dealing with that problem. Unless you have identified it, you won't do anything about it. So, it's absolutely necessary. The first step of any kind of solution is identifying the problems correctly, won't you say? So now let's understand first how our day-to-day stresses affect us. It doesn't take a huge traumatic event for us to be, get affected emotionally or physically. It can be just simple day-to-day stresses. And I'm going to give you a very simple example of a day-to-day stress. Suppose if you are visiting your friend after COVID, after 2-3 years, first time in a long time, and you don't know that he has a dog now, and you enter his campus and there is a ferocious dog pouncing on you in his garden while you enter. What will happen in your body? What will happen as a reaction to that dog? If you are somebody who's scared of dog, how will you react? Palpitation. What else? Sorry? We will try to run, absolutely. I will scream probably first of all. And I am so scared of this ferocious looking dog that I will freeze and don't know what to do. Suppose if you are very, very courageous, what will you try to do? At least shoo the dog away with some stick, something. So, externally, either you will startle, you will start running, you want to hide somewhere, climb something. You will have palpitations, shortness of breath, you are probably trembling, your mouth is going dry, you are sweating. These are the things that are going on inside of your body. And the two things that you would want to do is either a way to escape or a way to fight back. And this is exactly what we call as fight or flight reaction in stress. Fight is you want to fight the challenge. Flight is you want to run away. Now, whatever happened in my body, palpitation, shortness of breath, dryness of mouth, perspiration, did I make it happen or it just happened? Did I have any control over it? No, I had no control. So it was absolutely automatic reaction. And these automatic reactions come from our subconscious mind. There is a system in our nervous system and brain which is called as autonomic nervous system. And this autonomic nervous system does all the automatic functions in the body. So just taking a diversion quickly, what are the automatic functions in the body? Can you name them? Sorry? Breathing? Anything else? Sorry? Blinking, okay. Digestion, wonderful. So, sorry? Heart pumping of blood. So suppose I make the AC at 12. Who regulates the temperature? Do you regulate your body temperature? No, it is automatically regulated. So there are so many systems in our body that go on automatically. All of you had lunch, right? The food is being digested as you listen to me. You don't have to digest it. So heart, lungs, intestines, liver, kidneys, your disease fighting power, which we call as immunity, all these functions are absolutely automatic. You will be surprised to know that only 10% of our functions are voluntary. We walk, we talk, we chew, and we swallow the food. That's all we do voluntarily. Everything else is involuntary. Isn't it funny? So most of our functions are involuntary functions. They are taken care of by our automatic side of the nervous system. Now, understand this, that if you are fighting a challenge or if you are escaping, meaning running away from the challenge, both will need a lot of energy, you agree? If you need energy, where will the energy come from? In your body? What is giving you energy? Sorry? Food. Wonderful. So now, if I want to run away from the dog, which are the systems that I will need to function fast, very fast? Think. I will need my muscles to run. My muscles will need lot of blood supply and oxygen. So I have to have faster inhaling, exhaling to get more oxygen. My blood has to run faster so that it can supply more oxygen to muscles. My blood has to also carry the sugar molecules so that my muscles get some energy, some petrol. So all the systems that get activated are first the muscular system, second the heart, which starts pumping very fast and at a higher blood pressure, third the lungs, which start breathing very, very fast, and then there are three kinds of petrols in our body. One is blood sugar, the second is cholesterol, and the third is fats. So naturally in your body, temporarily, blood sugar, blood cholesterol will become higher so that your muscles will get lot of energy. Is this part clear? Because we are going to see how this detrimentally affects us when the stress is constant. Now, suppose in your work department here, there is somebody who's visiting, a team of foreign experts visiting your department. What happens to your day-to-day functions? Do you still do them, or do you keep them on hold and say, now all of the team is going to prepare for this presentation, and day-to-day functions only after this visit is over? Do you do that? Yes. So now, when the dog is pouncing upon you, is your body interested in digesting the sandwich that you ate at 12 o'clock? No. The body says, first deal with the dog, and then you can sit and relax and digest your food. So there are some systems which become inactive because they are not needed in this urgent survival mechanism. Which are those systems? Intestines, because you don't urgently need the food. Kidneys, the fighting cells which take care of your immunity, rest and regeneration. Now, what are you seeing? Practically all the maintenance functions are being held back so that you can deal with the stress effectively. So temporarily, your food will not be digested properly, you will have a lower immunity, disease fighting power, your kidneys won't function properly, there will be no repair mechanism in your body. This part is okay, clear? Now imagine these two systems. In our nervous system there are two parts. One part is called as sympathetic system, and that is typically the system which takes care of the stress. Meaning all the activation that you saw, increased heart rate, increased blood flow, increased respiration, all that is done by stress system, stress activating system or sympathetic system. Now once the friend comes and he says, अरे हमारा कुत्ता कुछ नहीं करता है, आ जाओ घर में, as all the dog owners say, हमारा कुत्ता कुछ नहीं करता. So you go, you sit, you have a glass of water, and your systems now start relaxing. Your heart rate starts coming down to normal. Your breathing normalizes. Who does this peaceful thing? This is the other part of the system. The parasympathetic system will do all the things. It will make all the things come back to normal. So I'm telling you this seems like a medical jargon, but I will tell you why, the reason I'm sharing this with you. Just remember, S for stress, P parasympathetic for peace. Good enough? Let's go ahead. Now, how does your typical day look like? How many times do you think the stress mechanism is activated in a normal day? Let's see that. So, you had a wonderful weekend, you slept late, and now your alarm didn't go, or you unconsciously snoozed your alarm and slept more. So as you wake up, you are feeling very groggy and you are already late. Then you have to drop something, you have to pick up something on your way to office, you have to punch the card before it is, or give your thumb impression before it's late. Then you open your laptop and there are already 50 mails waiting for you, and then there is a deadline at 3 p.m. and then somebody is calling you from home ke 6 baje tak ghar pahunch ja, we have guests coming over. How many times? At least 10 times your stress system gets activated during the day like this. And while you are going home, there are 3 people cutting your vehicle on the way. So every time there is somebody cutting your vehicle, the stress response will go spike up. So in this way, our stress system starts getting activated repeatedly during the day. And imagine somebody at the age of 40, this has happened for at least 15 years, 10 times in a day, every single day. So what happens is that once the stress system becomes hyper alert, hyper activated, it starts getting stimulated at even the minor signals or minor stimulation. You may have seen people who get startled at just a phone rings or a doorbell's ring. Why? Because they cannot relax now. Their system is so activated that just if you tap their shoulders, they will say, huh? So the system has now become hyper alert. Now, in human body, whatever you use will grow. Like a bicep, if you do exercise, the bicep will grow. Similarly, if you use your sympathetic system a lot, it will grow. And simply, it will become stronger and active all the time. Whether you are stressed or not, your sympathetic system is active all the time. Unfortunately, whatever you don't use degenerates. So your parasympathetic system gets deactivated and it goes in a dormant state. Can you imagine the impact of this on your mind and body? If your stress system is active all the time, what can go wrong or what will happen? So, whatever changes that I told you that happen only during the dog attack are now permanent changes. So you have raised heart rate and raised blood pressure all the time. You have faster breathing, quicker breathing all the time. Sadly, all these maintenance functions are on hold all the time. And this is the dangerous part. Tell me why? First of all these things, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, higher blood pressure, higher heart rate, is it good for your body? That's not good. And what happens to regeneration? What happens to repair? That's permanently on hold. If there is no repair, which means simply your body is degenerating faster and your aging will become faster. Now do you realize why people at a younger age are getting diabetes or hypertension or gray hair or bad knee cartilages? Because they are so stressed that their body is not repairing their tissue. The tissue is degenerating faster, which means that health problems are going to start way early in your life. Now, all this I talked about is only body. What happens to the mind? Let's see. Do you find these things similar to what you are experiencing? Too many things to do. FOMO, fear of missing out. ये किया तो वो रह जाता है, वो किया तो ये रह जाता है. Too many things and too little time. So we are always restless, we are always hurried, we are always impatient. And what is the common study? That people now can't sit in one place. Their attention span is very, very poor. Their memory, their concentration is very poor. So studies show that people are unable to wait even between the gaps of advertisements. They switch channels. I know people who see 2 movies at a time because यहाँ ad शुरू हो जाता है, they change to some other channel, watch different movie. Then वहाँ ad चालू हो जाता है, they switch back to the original movie. So you can't watch television peacefully. So many people tell me that, I used to enjoy television previously. Now I feel so restless, I don't know what's going on. It's too much for me. Because their brain is racing. They are not even listening to the story or the dialogues. We all just observe when you eat food. Most of us eat food while watching something on the phone, right? So do you even realize that you gulp your food without chewing it properly? So many people tell me that they have a problem of lot of eructations happening after food, and that's because we swallow lot of air when we gulp our food without chewing, and that affects our digestion. Anyway, we can't tolerate buffering in laptops, switching channel between ads. Typically in traffic, 5, 4, 3 and all the vehicles start. You don't wait till it becomes 0. So many times there is lot of honking, lot of cutting just because we are too impatient. Our nervous system is so restless and fast that we can't wait. All this is because of excessive sympathetic system stimulation, which all of us have. Now, our brain has been developing since many thousands of years. And it's like you give an updated Android to a Nokia Purana handset and try to work it through the Nokia. It won't happen. So your hardware, your brain is thousands of years old. And through socializing the kind of life you're trying to live, your brain is not equipped to live. So it's a newer software with older hardware, which is not going to work. So what happens then? The non-stop thinking, working will give you lot of exhaustion and fatigue, lot of aches and pains throughout the body, sleeplessness, emotional instability, irritability, anger. And so many people, so many of my clients tell me that we never feel relaxed. I'm watching something but I'm feeling कि अरे ये नहीं वो web series देखूं कि ये देखूं. Half my time is gone in thinking whether I made the right choice of the web series or not. So I'm not enjoying what am I doing. I feel like every time I come back from office, I have my food, I go to sleep, I wake up and I go to office. बाकी तो मैं कुछ नहीं करता life में. So always dissatisfied, depressed, not enthusiastic, On Monday morning, Sunday feel the farthest away. So, I hope you all know that maximum heart attacks throughout the world happen on Monday morning at 9:15. Morning or Monday blues, people feel that pata nahi Sunday kab aayega and what will I do till next weekend. So this is our condition and this is our story. Now going back to what you wrote about your stress, all of you wrote few things. Look at the list of the problems that you wrote, physical, mental, emotional. Just go back to them and try and understand that did you write that my stress affects in some physical way, some emotional way, some of your physical well-being, efficiency, relationships, sense of happiness. Your stress is affecting you at all these levels. And that's why I said that your mental health is an integral part of your general health. Because your mental health is currently affecting your quality of life. And that's why we need to be aware about what is to be done for our stresses. Now, what is our common, how do we normally manage our stress? Maybe there are 10-20% people who do some yoga, some pranayam, some meditation, some stress management techniques. What do most people do? मैं तो stress लेता ही नहीं. So they feel that their weekend relaxation, have few drinks, binge watch a web series, पूरा का पूरा season खत्म कर दिया Saturday night को. Yeah, go for latest movies, have some coke, pizza, life enjoy करो, party करो, कुछ stress नहीं होता है. This is commonly the way in today's social setup people manage stresses, denying that there is existence of stress. Now, unfortunately, smoking, drinking, watching television, partying, gaming, videos, screen time, all this finally excites or stimulates our sympathetic nervous system, sadly. Which means that even when you are watching something that you love, or even when you are having your favorite pizza and few drinks, the sympathetic system and the stress mechanisms are still active in the body. You never measure your BP or heart rate, right? While you have your favorite pizza. So the stress mechanisms are active in your body while you feel that you are enjoying and you are distracted. Now tell me, if the sympathetic system activation is causing stress, what will be the true stress management in the scientific terms, medically? Okay, sorry, yoga and meditation, why? You're right, but scientific, we will activate the parasympathetic system here, right? The sympathetic system we said is the stress activator and parasympathetic is the peace activator. So if you need to do a true stress management, you will need to activate this system. So overactivated sympathetic system you need to calm down and you need to activate the peace system. That is the true stress management that we have. So we will need to see the techniques that will activate the parasympathetic system. So in the healthy lifestyle, first is nutritious food and good rest. We hardly any of us get good rest. You know, we end up being awake till 1, 2, 3 p.m. and then we wake up groggy and then we run to work and we haven't had good rest. Most of us have really junk food at least on weekends, but even in between. So nutritious food is also missing from our lifestyle. Yoga, exercise, okay, जब मैं जल्दी उठूंगी तब मैं exercise जरूर करूंगी. But kya karu, I'm so tired, I don't wake up in time, for exercise. So I don't exercise then. Meditation, pranayam, I'm going to learn, definitely. And hobbies, I watch TV. That's my hobby. So most of us don't do any of these, which is a part of healthy lifestyle. So we will see why and how this is important, and why these things, how they activate our parasympathetic system. So I will start from bottom upwards. Art forms. Why do we always say that you should have at least one good hobby? Because all the art forms like painting, like drawing, singing, cooking, reading, learning musical instrument, all of this somehow affects our internal biological clock, and it makes our clock slow down. It makes us very peaceful. बहुत बार होता है ना, you are playing something and then you suddenly feel हो गया 1 घंटा, ऐसा लगा बहुत लंबा टाइम हुआ. So you almost lose the track of time when you are doing something very artful or something, something that soothes your mind. This losing track of time is a sign of activation of parasympathetic system. हम जब ट्रिप को जाते हैं, वेकेशन को, तो कैसा लगता है, अभी 2 दिन में जाना है, 1 दिन में जाना है, and then you suddenly feel, wow, this feels so nice, I don't want to go back. And when you are coming back, you feel 8 ही दिन हुए, ऐसा लगा बहुत लंबे समय तक मैं यहाँ रही. So this is losing track of time, and that means your body is getting some peace. So all the art forms, then exercise, mindful exercise. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we go to gym, and in gymming there is loud music playing, so half of our mind is attending to that music. अरे ये मस्त गाना है, वो मस्त गाना है, इसका beat अच्छा है. We are not focusing on our body. So when you exercise, doing mindful exercise is very important, and that's why yoga is a better form of exercise, because your yoga teacher will tell you, okay, now breathe in, then make your shoulders straight, have your toes pointed, so you are completely focusing on your body. That again slows down your biological clock and activates parasympathetic system. So yoga and pranayam are much better techniques than gymming. Only if you are gymming with complete focus on your body, then you will get all the benefits of gymming also. Of course, spending time in nature, playing with kids, playing with animals will also make you peaceful. Now let's talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Like somebody said, being aware. Being aware of what is happening in your mind, being aware of what is happening in your body, being aware, somebody said mind and body at the same place, that is mindfulness. Being completely focused in this moment is mindfulness. It's easier said than done, obviously. Meditation, again we are doing some form of, I saw that you have some meditation tomorrow, and then day after you have a session on meditation. So you will obviously learn meditation in detail, but we are going to talk a little bit on meditation and observing yourself. Again, meditation, chanting, prayers, if focused on your own self, then activate parasympathetic system. वो वैसा वाला prayer नहीं जो टीवी देखते देखते ओम 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 करते हैं, वैसा वाला नहीं. You have to completely focus on what you are saying. And of course, any form of slow exercising like yoga, like tai chi, like pranayam, pilates, anything that makes you focus completely on your body. All these things will activate your parasympathetic system, and that is the true stress management method. Now, let's do one very interesting exercise on breathing today. And let's learn why breathing is so important. Somebody said the only, some of the involuntary activity is breathing, right? Now, why everybody focuses so much on pranayam? Why breathing is so important? Can you tell me? Everybody is asking you to do pranayam. रामदेव जी से लेके मीनल सोहनी तक सब प्राणायाम के पीछे पड़े. Why? Sorry? brings back the attention. Okay, wonderful. What else? So any body activity is okay then? Why breathing? It restores the energy. Wonderful. What else? Most natural thing that we do. Wonderful. What else? There is one very interesting part about breathing which none of the other body activities have. Have you ever thought that breathing is the only system which is automatic and voluntary both? When you sleep, the breathing goes on involuntarily. It doesn't stop if you sleep. But when you have to jump in the swimming pool, you voluntarily hold your breath and jump. Which means you can voluntarily change the breathing, and breathing can go on involuntary also. Which simply means that through voluntarily changing your breathing patterns, you can access your involuntary system, the automatic system. Otherwise, how will we access the automatic system? The name itself says it's automatic, meaning not in our control, right? फिर stress management कैसे करेंगे? So, breathing is one system which is like a virus which can hack into the automatic nervous system. Now, what are the advantages of breathing? Before we do that, let's just observe our breathing pattern. Okay, I'm going to ask you all to sit upright, keep your both legs firmly on the floor. Keep your one hand on your tummy, one hand on your chest, and just 2-3 breaths, breathing cycles, observe your breathing. Basically observe when you inhale, is there any movement of your chest or abdomen? As you exhale, what is the movement? Observe for 2-3 cycles and then we will see. Try and breathe deep. Most of you, I can't even see that you are breathing, so I'm sure you are not feeling anything. I can't see any breathing movement in your chest or abdomen. So, as you inhale, we are now just talking about inhalation. As you inhale, is there any movement of your chest or abdomen? And if yes, what kind of movement? Sorry? Expansion of chest? Okay. So, as you inhale, there is expansion of chest. Anybody else? Any movement of abdomen also? Abdomen also expands. Anybody whose abdomen is going in? Sorry? Doing breathing out, abdomen is going out. Okay. So, when you breathe in, abdomen is going in? Okay. So, for some people, when you inhale, when you take the air in, the chest is expanding and the abdomen is going in. Right? For some people, the chest is also expanding and abdomen is also expanding. Correct? Now, we will see what is the correct way of breathing. Now, have you seen a small child lying down and breathing ever? The child's abdomen goes up and down. Have you seen that? Small babies, how they breathe? So, belly breathing or abdominal breathing is the natural stress-free form of breathing. So, if you can see here, I don't know whether this, unfortunately this light is not working. So, when you inhale, if your abdomen comes out, then there is more space for your lungs to expand in downward direction, as you can see here. And that's why your lungs expand more and take in more air, obviously take in more oxygen. So, when you inhale, necessarily your abdomen should come out and not go in. And when you exhale, if your abdomen pushes the air from here, the lungs will push the air out. That means belly in, exhale. So, when you are exhaling, your belly should go in. That is the correct way of breathing. Now, For those, when you inhale and the abdomen goes in, it is a classical reverse breathing or paradoxical breathing that happens in stress. So now, alarm for you all. Start breathing correctly first. Isn't it funny? We don't even know how to breathe right. Forget about stress management. So, let me tell you first the advantages of abdominal breathing, and then we will practice it one more time. So, the most important advantage is that the lungs expand fully, so you will get more oxygen. And when you get more oxygen, you feel refreshed, you have good stamina throughout the day. Meaning you will not get bored, you will not have yawning, you will be refreshed, you will be enthusiastic throughout the day. Another very important advantage is that there is one nerve called vagus nerve in our abdomen. And when you do abdominal breathing, your vagus nerve gets stimulated. And this vagus nerve stimulates your parasympathetic system. Meaning when you do abdominal breathing, automatically your body calms down. And this is a wonderful stress management technique that you can do day to day. And once you practice abdominal breathing every day, that becomes your way of breathing throughout the day. Meaning, how much ever your sympathetic system wants to get stimulated, you will always keep it in check. Do you realize how important this is? Okay, so with this background, let's breathe one more time. Just what I'll suggest you now is, keep your one hand on your belly and first exhale and take your abdomen voluntarily inside. Let me do it, let me show it to you so that you understand. I am purposely inhaling through my mouth, exhaling so that you all can see. I am exhaling and taking my abdomen in. This way. Now when you inhale, can you see a distinct movement now? So I want you to do this distinct movement of your abdomen. Exhale first, like how you blow the candles on the cake. And take your belly in. And then inhale and take your belly out. Don't press it with your hand. I am keeping the hand so that you know my movement of my belly. I'm not pressing it. So, for some of you it's still difficult. There is movement of chest and not belly. So you will realize how difficult it is to reverse the pattern of your breathing also. It's okay, you don't have to feel frustrated. I'll tell you one simple exercise. आप घर पे जाओ, एक कोई बड़ा सा book ले लो, keep it on your abdomen, so that when you exhale, because of the weight of the book, the abdomen will go down automatically. And then you try to rise up the abdomen when you inhale. So this way, your body will automatically get tuned to, when you exhale, the abdomen will go in naturally. And then slowly the coordination will happen. So don't get frustrated, but do realize that simple breathing, which is a stress-free breathing, also we don't know, or we have not been in touch with our body. So start with breathing from today. That will also give you a lot of stress-free environment in the body. Now, moving on to the next segment of what is stress, what creates actually stress, and then how to manage it at an emotional level. So, how something appears is always a matter of perspective. So, we are obviously talking about perception. Now, I am giving you one very simple example of a college annual gathering. So, the teacher picks up a nerdy student and says, तुमको अपने इसमें part लेना है, debate competition में part लेना है, and you have to represent your college in debate. Now, this fellow is very good at intellectualization, but he has never been on stage. बात कैसे करते हैं वो नहीं पता. So he is so afraid कि मैं stage पे जाके सब भूल गया तो क्या हो जाएगा. He is very anxious. And then there is another fellow who's good at acting and talking and extrovert and taking part in all drama competitions. Teacher picks him and says, you will be the one who takes responsibility of our drama competition, and you will, fix up some nice script and do the rehearsals and things like that. And he starts thinking, अरे महेश मांजरेकर आने वाला है as a chief guest, so क्या पता, एक break ही मिल जाए किसी movie में सलमान खान के साथ. Now, this is a typical situation of a college annual function. There are two different people with two different responses. What do you see in these two different responses? One is very, very anxious because he's so afraid to go on stage, and the other is extremely looking forward to this opportunity because he feels it's a break, major break in his career. What do you understand from this? Sorry? Perception. What do you understand about perception? It's the way you look at the situations. So is college annual gathering a stressful event? No, it depends upon how you look at it. For one person it's very stressful. वो बोल रहा है मैं घर पे ही रहता हूँ, उस दिन जाऊंगा ही नहीं college. For the other person it's like a major career opportunity. So individually how you look at this event will decide whether you will have stress or whether you will have extreme enthusiasm about it. I'll give you another example. It's still raining in October like crazy, and we all want to go to Lonavala and experience waterfalls and have fun and everything. So probably some of you went this weekend to Lonavala and had fun. But when it's raining right now with your office outfits and laptops in your hand, do you like the same rain that you were looking forward to yesterday? No, it was good in Lonavala yesterday, not today in your office. So is rain a problem? No, whether you are expecting it or not is a problem. So in every situation, if you will see, what is my perception of that situation? Am I expecting it? Am I resenting it? Am I feeling anxious about it? Yes, you want to say something? Correct. Yes. Correct. So first we are trying to see here that the situation is not stressful. My outlook or my way of looking at the situation is stressful. If we understand that, then we don't blame the situation for it. We start changing ourselves. So many people say, मुझे बचपन से favorable situation ही नहीं मिला, तो मैं क्या करूँगा career का? पर बचपन से unfavorable situation काफी लोगों को मिला है. उससे भी बहुत बड़े careers बने हैं. So what I am trying to see here is, this kind of awareness makes us aware that the way I look at things will matter in my life. That is what we are trying to get at. So, hidden behind the stressful situations are our individual perceptions. The situation is often just a stimulus. Whatever is your way of dealing with that situation will either create or not create stress for you. So, the person will then realize that I have to now practice my speech or practice going on stage, practice socializing. I have to reduce my social anxiety. I have to work upon myself so that my stress is gone. Running away, staying at home is not a solution. So, now every time we must realize that every time there is a stressful situation, try and get to the bottom. What is my way of looking at the situation? We unconsciously use this mechanism a lot of times. If your friend tells you, अरे वो पुणे बॉम्बे रोड, पुणे बॉम्बे एक्सप्रेस हाईवे पे मेरे कार का एक्सीडेंट हो गया, what is the first thing that you will say to your friend? तुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ ना, कार तू खरीद सकता है, इंश्योर्ड थी ना, छोड़ दे फिर. What are you doing here? You are distracting your friend's focus from the accident to what is more important. You and you being safe and sound is more important than your car. So you are consoling your friend by changing his focus from his financial damage to his focus on that he is safe. Do you realize this? You do this unconsciously. You change his perception. अगर किसी के घर में अनफॉर्चुनेटली डेथ हो जाती है, किसी ओल्ड रिलेटिव की जो बेड रिडन है, व्हाट इज द टिपिकल थिंग दैट यू गो एंड से? वेरी टिपिकली व्हाट डू वी से? कि अरे वैसे भी बेड रिडन थे, बहुत तकलीफ हो रही थी, अच्छा हुआ तकलीफों का अंत तो हो गया. So what are we trying here? We are just trying to shift the focus from one situation to the other. We are trying to change the perception of that individual. So we use it, but we don't know what exactly we are doing. We are changing the perception to make that person feel good. So always remember that every stressful event is dependent on your perception of it. Try and find your perception. Try and see how you can look at it differently. Suppose I am very, very stressed to come here today and talk. What can be my perception that is stressful to me? Tell me different perceptions. Suppose I am exceedingly scared to come in front of you and talk today. What can be my perception? First time जा रही हूँ, पता नहीं crowd कैसा है. What else? Lack of knowledge. Suppose मैं blank हो गई तो? What else? Sorry? They will ask me difficult questions. मुझे answer नहीं मिला तो? याद नहीं आया तो? So do you realize how many different types of perceptions I can have that can cause stress? Maybe I will feel कि अगर ये lecture अच्छा नहीं हुआ तो फिर कभी नहीं बुलाएंगे. और मे बी यहाँ पे मेरी ओपीडी होती है, लोग बोलेंगे क्या बंडल लेक्चर था यार, कौन जाएगा इस डॉक्टर के पास, ओपीडी भी बंद हो जाएगी शायद. सो मेनी डिफरेंट वेज दैट आई लुक एट द सिचुएशन दैट कैन कॉज स्ट्रेस इन मी. सिमिलरली यू हैव टू फाइंड योर परसेप्शन व्हेनेवर यू हैव स्ट्रेस, कि किस वजह से मुझे ये हो रहा है, एंड देन यू कैन वर्क अपॉन दैट. नाउ अ वेरी मेजर पार्ट ऑफ एनी स्ट्रेस इज आवर इमोशंस. And what is our natural way of dealing with emotions? Classically, how do we deal with emotions? Okay, what else we do with our emotions? How many of you have a strategy to deal with emotions? So all are smiling, meaning no strategy. जैसे जब होगा देखा जाएगा. So we always express our emotions with hesitation. Why? First of all, acknowledging bad emotions makes us bad person. हमने इतने YouTube पे spiritual videos देखे हैं जिसमें बोलते हैं forgive and forget. Clients मेरे पास आते हैं और पूछते हैं, डॉक्टर I am not able to forgive. Am I a bad person? मुझे इतना गुस्सा आ रहा है, भगवान उसको कुछ तो punishment देनी ही चाहिए. Am I a bad person for that? I said, please आप spiritual video देखना पहले बंद करो. Acknowledge your anger first. Spirituality बाद में देखेंगे यार, जब आएगी तब आएगी. So, whenever we feel angry, we feel revengeful, किसी की BMW देख के लगता है यार मेरे घर कब आएगी, all that is normal. So, first of all, we don't acknowledge having negative emotions. Then we feel कि formal situations में तो एक्सप्रेस करना ही नहीं चाहिए. बॉस के सामने एक्सप्रेस किया, पता चला अप्रेजल में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई, चुप बैठो, अच्छा अच्छा बोलो. थर्ड, व्हाई क्रिएट डिस्टर्बेंसेस एंड फाइट्स? हाँ में हाँ मिला दो ना, से यस टू एवरीथिंग, डोंट फाइट इन सोशल सिचुएशंस. Now, as a result of all this, we never express our true emotions. Our raw emotions never come out. Even if you talk to a friend or a relative or your parents or your siblings, they are always edited. उसको 2 थप्पड़ मारूंगी, ये कभी नहीं होता. बहुत गुस्सा आया रे मुझे, बस इतना ही होता है. So what happens is that because we don't express our emotions fully, always 60 to 70% of our emotions always keep remaining within us. Now, when I say they remain within us, where do they remain? अंदर कुछ compartment है क्या? Where I keep it? है ना compartment? So everything that is unexpressed goes to our subconscious mind like a garbage bag. इधर से उठाओ उधर dump कर दो subconscious mind में. And what happens is that this garbage bag is also going to get filled up, no? It keeps accumulating more and more and more, and finally when the container can't store it anymore, it will start spilling. And that's where our mood swings and frequent breakdowns and outbursts start. अरे कुछ भी बोला तो मुझे रोना ही आ जाता है, या कुछ भी बोला ना तो वो इरिटेट ही हो जाता है. That stage comes when your subconscious mind is now full and can't take anything anymore. Everything that goes in comes out immediately. So when you start having frequent irritability, frequent outbursts, frequent crying episodes, frequent anger episodes, please understand that it's time to empty this container now. So it's very, very important that we keep emptying our subconscious mind time and again. So how to empty subconscious mind? Any ideas? कैसे करेंगे? By expressing. So whenever we don't express, I'll come to what are the good ways to express. But when we suppress our emotions and when they all go to subconscious mind, what must be happening to these emotions, or what must be happening to subconscious mind? क्या होता होगा? Subconscious mind, I just told you, controls automatic functions. And now your emotions control your subconscious mind. So A to B, B to C, your emotions now start controlling your automatic functions. Which means when you get angry, you start having palpitations, you start sweating, you feel that your blood pressure is rising, your face becomes red. So your emotions now control your body functions, and that is how your body abnormalities start initially, and later on they can progress to diseases clearly. So we will see quickly one such condition which we all know. People who are short-tempered have much more incidences of higher cholesterol, 3 to 4 times more possibility of higher cholesterol. They have thickened blood vessels 2 times more, and they have a propensity to heart attacks 3 times more. People who are short-tempered, people who get angry very easily and stay angry for a very long time. Now, some people tell me that, but I don't show my anger, no. Whatever is happening inside, I keep it inside. Is that a good idea? So, chronic and suppressed anger is worse than obesity or smoking. आप एक्सप्रेस करके दूसरे का बीपी बढ़ा दो, बट सप्रेस करोगे तो और नुकसान होगा. Please don't take me seriously. I'm going to tell you healthier ways to express anger. But what I'm trying to tell you is that suppressed anger is more harmful than when the anger is ventilated. So let's quickly see what are the typical emotions that we have and how they affect our body. Suppose if we take the example of the commonest emotion, fear. How does fear, you think, affect our body? Very typical. You see commonly in small children, because fear is very common in smaller children. How does fear affect the body in smaller children? What do you see commonly? School नहीं जाना है, पेट दुख रहा है. So fear commonly affects our intestines and disturbs digestion. So many people you must be knowing, need to catch a plane and they have diarrhea, or they want to go on stage and they get loose motions, or there is some important event and they feel that they need to use the washroom. That is because the fear gives rise to lot of digestive disturbances. So typically smaller children have cramps in their intestines. Poor people, they are actually telling you the truth, it's not the lie. And when the school timing passes and they feel that now I don't have to go to school, the cramps automatically release and the child starts playing. और आपको लगता है देखो कैसा खेल रहा है झूठा. So the child is not lying actually. Depression. Classically it is said that if you undergo a very serious life trauma like death or divorce or cancer or something like that, and if you face depression, then your immunity is lowered. So they say that after divorce, the incidences of cancer are highest in first 1 year after divorce or death in the family, because at that time your immunity is lowest and cancer can catch up with you. So depression makes your immune cells also feel depressed. Anxiety, everything is faster in anxiety. So heart rate is faster, heart is pumping at a higher pressure, and blood pressures and migraines are very, very common in anxiety. And finally, any kind of emotion suppressed for a very, very long time either give rise to autoimmunity or cancers very commonly. So pick up any cancer patient and ask them their temperament. They will tell you that they are always introvert, storing up everything inside, not expressing. They were always doing everything for everybody, and now they have landed with cancer. So मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया लाइफ में, मुझे कैंसर क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि कुछ गलत नहीं किया, आपको कैंसर हो गया. एक्सप्रेस करते आपका गुस्सा, एंगर, एनवी, जेलसी सब, तो नहीं होता कैंसर. टू गुड होने के चक्कर में सब सप्रेस कर दिया और कैंसर हो गया. So 85% of the diseases have some emotional component in it. As homeopaths, we will first start with the question कि आपको ये बीमारी start हुई तब stress था क्या? And 80 to 90% of the people will tell us that हाँ उस टाइम पे जॉब का चक्कर चल रहा था, उस टाइम पे कुछ फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम था, घर में कोई बीमार था, एंड तब से मुझे ये शुरू हुआ है. So we can trace down the starting of an illness to an emotional component most of the times. Now that brings us to healthy ways of expressing. Any ideas? Healthy ways of expressing emotions? Journaling, wonderful. I often tell people to write emotional diary. So express your raw emotions. गालियाँ देनी है दे दो, bad words use करने हैं कर लो, unedited emotions डायरी में आने चाहिए. And this is diary is your personal space. डर लग रहा है अगर कोई पढ़ेगा, फाड़ के फेंक दो. But write everything in the diary. Another thing I often tell people is नहीं लिखना है अगर आपको इतना पेशेंस नहीं है. Some people say that the emotions are so strong, बैठ के लिखेगा कौन? It's too slow. I tell them just scribble. Hold the pen like this as if you are holding a knife. Scribble. फाड़ दो, पेज फाड़ दो, चलेगा. छोटी बच्चों की तरह crayons ले लो और scribble करो. So it will look something like this. You will be surprised. One patient who had a very severe disease of multiple sclerosis, meaning degeneration of nerves. When I asked her to express her emotions, she made the entire page only red and black. इतना गुस्सा था अंदर, बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा. So you can just scribble out. आजकल हम लोग Amazon से चीज़ें मंगवाते हैं, मिंत्रा से मंगवाते हैं. The cartons are very tough, isn't it? Tear them. बैठ के literally tear the cartons. बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Because anger especially is a very active emotion. बहुत लोग मुझे बोलते हैं इतना गुस्सा आता है और आप बोलते हो शांति से बैठ के लिखो, एनर्जी मैच ही नहीं होता है. I said okay, tear the boxes. किक बॉक्सिंग करो, एक आपके घर में गद्दा होगा उसको ले लो, मारो उसको, बॉक्सिंग करो, किक्स करो, अच्छा लगेगा. So express your emotions. Another thing that I tell people, आजकल तो सारे कार में ब्लूटूथ तो होता ही है. You can just go on a drive, talk to yourself. पूना में तो ट्रैफिक की भी कमी नहीं है. ट्रैफिक में 1-1.5 घंटे का काउंसलिंग ऐसे ही हो जाएगा आपका. सो जस्ट टॉक टू योर सेल्फ, ऐसा हुआ वैसा हुआ, इसने ऐसा किया, मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आया, मेरे हाथ में लगता तो 2 घुसे लगा देता. Say that, it feels good. So just put your headphones, go on a walk, sit in the car, talk to yourself. बहुत अच्छा लगता है. And obviously you can give me some chance also. So counselors also, you can go to a counselor and talk. The advantage of talking to a counselor is counselor can make you aware of your emotions, कि ये emotions है, उसको आप इस तरह से deal कर सकते हो. They can talk to you about your perceptions and help you with the choices. We will talk about it a little bit. Raw expressions, I already told you, screaming in the pillow, tearing cardboards, punching the bags, बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Now there are some situations in life like death or divorce, like COVID के hospitalizations वगैरह, जहाँ पे आप deal नहीं कर सकते. Of course you can always take professional help for that, because there are multiple emotions involved, what we call as emotional knots or emotional ties. Multiple emotions involved in one instance. तो आपको या तो एक या दो समझते हैं, बाकी सब नहीं समझता है. You can take professional help in these cases. Of course, diseases also are connected. Like I told you, anxiety is connected to blood pressure and they have to be treated together. आपने सिर्फ ब्लड प्रेशर की टैबलेट ली और एंजाइटी डील नहीं की तो ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ता ही रहेगा, वो कंट्रोल में नहीं आएगा. सो यू नीड टू डील विद ब्लड प्रेशर एंड एंजाइटी बोथ टुगेदर. एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज टेकिंग टाइमली हेल्प फॉर योर प्रॉब्लम्स. बहुत लोग रुकते हैं, हाँ ठीक हो जाएगा, अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा, एंजाइटी ठीक हो जाएगी, कोविड है ना, अभी कोविड चले जाने के बाद सब ठीक हो जाएगा. सब ठीक सिर्फ राजश्री की मूवी में होता है, बाकी कहीं भी अपने आप सब ठीक कुछ नहीं होता. यू हैव टू टेक टाइमली हेल्प एंड गेट आउट. द लॉन्गर यू वेट, द मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड द प्रॉब्लम बिकम्स एंड इट विल टेक लॉन्गर टू हील ऑल्सो. सो लेट मी टेल यू क्विकली अबाउट homeopathic treatment and what you can do. I'm sure some of you, at least I hope, have experienced homeopathy. But homeopathy are these tiny pills and many people ask me कि इतनी से pills से क्या होगा, and I tell them कि okay लेके देखो फिर समझेगा क्या होगा. So homeopathy is prepared from all the natural substances like minerals, plants, some animal products like honey and milk and corals and things like that. And they are prepared in such specialized diluted way that they hardly have any chemical effects on the body. Homeopathy only stimulates the natural functions of your body. So the primary difference, if I have to give you one example, suppose if you are treating diabetes in a conventional way, तो डायबिटोलॉजिस्ट आपको क्या देंगे, वो ऐसा केमिकल या ऐसा सब्सटेंस देंगे जो आपके बॉडी में जाके आपकी शुगर को मेटाबोलाइज करेगा. Right? So every 12 hours you will have to take that tablet so that it metabolizes your sugar. अगर ज़्यादा डोज हुआ तो हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. Now what does homeopathy do differently? होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन जाके आपके शुगर को कुछ नहीं करेंगे, वो जाके आपके पैनक्रियाज को स्टिमुलेट करेंगे कि वो अपना इंसुलिन बनाए. इसलिए होम्योपैथी का कभी ओवरडोज नहीं हो सकता है, बिकॉज होम्योपैथी इज ओनली टेलिंग अरे भैया कुछ करो शुगर का, इतना ही कर रहा है होम्योपैथी. एंड दैट्स व्हाई होम्योपैथी हैज नो साइड इफेक्ट्स and no dependencies. It will make your body more and more skilled to do its own functions. So the other major advantage of homeopathy is that with homeopathy we can treat psychological and psychiatric disorders. I am myself treating all kinds of psychiatric disorders only purely through homeopathy, like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, OCD, all kinds of things, without any side effects or dependencies. OCDs and suicidal tendencies or anxieties have results as soon as 15 days. So it's a myth that homeopathy is slow. It actually is much faster than allopathy occasionally. Counseling. What is the advantage of counseling? मेनली मेनी पीपल दे से कि काउंसलिंग को क्यों जाना है, हम अपने फ्रेंड के पास भी जा सकते हैं, रिलेटिव्स के पास भी जा सकते हैं. बट काउंसलर्स आर वेरी वेरी ऑब्जेक्टिव, दे आर नॉट इमोशनली इन्वॉल्व्ड इन यू. They have studied the mind, so they know how your mind functions, which your friend may not know or which your relative may not know. Counselors often tell you your perceptions, your blocked visions, your blind spots. And that's why it is very, very helpful to go to a counselor and talk rather than talking to your neighbor or friend. Now, what about meditation? We are going to extensively probably learn about meditation, but since we are doing meditation today as end of our talk, I'll tell you little 2 minutes of meditation. Anybody here who does regular meditation? Wonderful. Can you tell me about what is meditation and what do you actually feel after meditation? And then I will tell you the science behind it. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else? You want to say something? Somebody else also raised hand here, na? As a regular meditator. Anybody? You want to say, sir, something? Mm-hmm. पीस और हैप्पीनेस लगता है बेसिकली. गुड. मेडिटेशन में आप wonderful, wonderful. So you are saying that the effect of meditation really lasts very long. That's wonderful. So what is really meditation? Can anybody tell me? Awareness, okay. What else? Watching thoughts, wonderful. What else? Sorry? Focusing on yourself, wonderful. What else? Calming down, that is the effect. Surely, calming down the sympathetic system. But what is the process of meditation? Any process? Sorry? Brings heart rate down. Yes, surely. So, mind and body synchronization, very interesting. So actually, trying to be thoughtless, wonderful. So actually the classic definition of meditation is just being and not doing anything. So when you are observing yourself, you are actually not doing anything. You are just being in whatever state you are. Now, this state of being is probably easier for Buddha, not for us, right? So then we give some focus to our mind so that our mind initially learns how to focus or how to stay in the state of being. So we say that we are watching our thoughts, watching our breath. These are all intermediate steps of meditation. This is not meditation. Once you practice this focusing on your thoughts or focusing on yourself, focusing on breath, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you can actually reach a state where you can just be and not do anything. And then actually the journey of meditation starts. But even when you are focusing on your thoughts or on your breath, all the advantages of meditation you will be able to enjoy. And what are those advantages? First of all, as she rightly said, it is the activation of parasympathetic system, which means that it will improve all the maintenance functions in your body. Meditation will improve your immunity, it will reduce your blood sugar, blood pressure, blood cholesterol, of course long-term meditation. Huh? Don't do meditation for a week and then check your blood sugar. You have to at least do it for 6 to 8 months to 1 year to have some positive effects at a bodily level. Mind level effects you can start seeing immediately within a month's time. Meditation is extremely regenerating for your brain. Have you heard of alpha, beta, theta waves in the brain? There are different types of waves in the brain with different activities. So beta waves is when you are very actively focusing on something. Alpha waves is when you are mildly relaxed. Theta waves is when you're deeply into meditation. And they say that if you are a regular meditator, then delta waves are stimulated in your brain, which is a combination of theta like quiet state but very active intellectually. So, most of people who are very, very creative can reach this delta state where their mind is extremely creative but extremely calm. आपने सुना होगा ना, मुझे स्लीप में ये आइडिया आया, मुझे स्लीप में ये पेंटिंग दिखा. दैट इज द डेल्टा स्टेट व्हेन देयर माइंड इज एब्सोल्युटली काम बट वेरी एक्टिव. दैट कैन हैपन आफ्टर गुड लॉन्ग मेडिटेटिव प्रैक्टिसेस. सो रीजनरेशन ऑफ ब्रेन इज ऑल्सो एंटी एजिंग, मीन्स अल्जाइमर्स ये वो नहीं होगा आपको. And of course your memory, concentration, your performance in your office will improve. That is like a side effect really. So meditation has a profound effect on your performance obviously. So we have come to the end of our discussion today, and the short takeaway I would say is that mental health is not just absence of disease, but it encompasses every area of your life, and that's why it is your happiness in your life depends on your mental health. So it is not just being healthy but also preventing problems by being in a good environment, following good practices. And unfortunately, if you have a problem, please take early treatment, be aware, take help without feeling a stigma or a taboo or embarrassment, so that you come out of it faster. Let me tell you, mental problems are as common as cold and cough, and anxiety is right now topping the disease charts after COVID. My anxiety patient numbers have probably gone up 20 times after the COVID outbreak. So every one of us probably has some amount of anxiety, but we don't know, we are not aware of it. If I say that, that's not an exaggeration. So I thank all of you who have joined in person, all the audiences who have joined online for your patient listening. I'm open for questions if you have any. I have one small request. I have my YouTube channel with my name, Dr. Meenal Sohani. I'm just trying to create a healthy community through giving lectures on anxiety, through some chanting. I take meditations, like yesterday was Kojagiri. I take meditations, full moon meditations. You will find lot of stuff that is psychologically will give you a lot of support. So do make use of it and do suggest it to your friends, and we all together can build a healthy community which is free of any stigma or taboo. So thank you so much for your patient listening, and if there are any questions, I would want to answer them. Thank you. Yes. Mental health or? Yes. Not that I know of. Not any kind of food has effect on mental health. Only foods, like in cases of small children, we often see that lot of sugary substances make them extremely restless and hyperactive. Otherwise, not many food items are known to cause any direct mental effects. But of course, if they affect the nervous system, then they affect mind. But not non-veg, definitely. Yes. So, I feel that we are mixing here two types of personalities. One is extrovert, enthusiastic, socially, very well connected and friendly and things like that. Now, this attribute doesn't have anything to do with concentration. And this attribute is very different from being impatient and restless. Chirpy is different than restless. If a person is chirpy, then he is, talking to everyone, socializing, going out. But that doesn't mean that he won't be able to focus. When he's focused on the work, he's focused on the work. Introvert people are just somebody who's inhibited in their talking. Maybe their preference is to be by themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean that when they are working, they are very focused. They can have emotional problems which makes them anxious and restless. Again, restless is different than introvert or extrovert. Introvert and extrovert are personality types where restlessness and lack of focus is a mental problem or problem of cognition or concentration. So these two are different and have no connection, directly at least. Anything else? Can we have the mic so that everybody can listen to the questions? You want to ask a question? Yeah, we'll probably get the mic to you. Villain, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So is there a question? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of gray areas in the question that you asked me. When you say I control the mind, who is this I? Huh? So I would say that yes, it's a very difficult question to answer, that whether the stressful situation occurred first and then you felt that it affected your mind, or because your mind was already affected, you interpreted that situation as being stressful. It can be both ways. Sometimes the situations are really impactful, like for example the COVID situation. It was impactful for all of us. So the stressor sometimes is very strong, and whether you are healthy or not, your mind is balanced or not, it will affect you. But many times what you say is also true, that you are upset, and because of that even harmless situations affect you in a way that can create stress in you. So yes, mind can sometimes play a villain. I agree. Both can happen, no? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it can happen both ways. Sure, sure, you can. Yeah, absolutely. See, because mind is a villain is also a perception, right? Mind can be a great helper also. So it all depends upon how we think about even the mental problems is a perception then. Correct? Because they say that Carl Jung himself was mentally deranged and he created fantastic therapies. So we don't know really what is a perception and what is a problem. But for us normal people, we say that we have to make our mind so stable that external situations won't affect us. Simply put.
We have to reduce our thoughts per minute. Like, if we have, let's say, 300 thoughts in a minute, if we can reduce up to 10 thoughts, so it will maybe some stable or calm down.
Absolutely.
It will not affect our body.
And that is what is the function of parasympathetic system, the all the activities that I told you. Good. Can you just pass? Nowadays, we generally don't see a positive stress because for you, a positive stress can be a great stress because you have great capacity, but that same amount of stress for me, say, can be a negative stress. So again, it depends upon whether that stress only motivates you to do better and not have harmful effects on your system, then it's a positive stress for you. And if it affects me in some way that reduces my capacity or that raises my heart rate or blood pressure or loss of sleep, then it is not positive for me, let's say that. So it all depends upon the harmful and positive effects that it has. Yes. Yeah, you wanted to ask something.
So basically, we've spoken a lot about yoga and meditation.
Yes.
But how do I start? Because I've tried meditating, but it's really not helpful. I can't focus on, like, I can't really focus. So how do I start?
Okay, so we will start from today. I am going to take meditation with all of you. कहाँ गया? We are going to take meditation. So let's quickly finish one or two questions that we have and yeah, take meditation. Yes. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So do you mean that when you need to take an action on an event? Yeah. So generally what I say is that suppose if you had a fight with your colleague, suppose, and the colleague is troubling you, let's say that, and you need to be assertive with the colleague who is troubling you in the office. I'm taking a fictitious example. Now, if the colleague is troubling you and it's making you really angry and furious, what are the chances that when you go and handle this situation, you will talk something that you don't want to talk? Good chances. Generally, that's what happens. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not asking you to keep quiet. What I'm trying to say is, first if you just go for a walk and talk it out, all your anger, your mind will be neutral now. Now you can go and talk to the colleague and you will be able to handle the anger that you have for him. And there are less chances that you will say things that are hurtful or that you will regret later. So first, deal with your emotions, come to a neutral state and then take action. That action is always balanced. I'm not asking you to not take action and simply like Buddha, just write your emotions. No, not at all. But it's always a good idea to deal with emotions first and then take action about the problems. I hope that answers your question. Good? We are all good? You have a question? Okay. Last question. After this, we'll take meditation. Yes. Yes. Actually, meditation, I would say, gives you the good base which makes you aware of your mind. It doesn't give you a power to control your mind. It makes your mind very good and stable, and it increases your power to observe your own mind, which creates a good base. But there are techniques to control the subconscious mind. I wouldn't use so much the word control, because subconscious mind is so powerful that your conscious mind cannot control subconscious mind. Even if you are aware about what is happening in your subconscious mind and try and deal with that, that is a great enough thing to do, and that causes lot of positive effects in your mind and body both. That you will need to go to a hypnotherapist. You can't do that on your own. Maybe once you have taken 2-3 therapies, you have understood how the mind works, then the therapist can teach you some of the things that you can do at home. But once you are in that state where your subconscious mind is more active, you are not in your control most of the times. So then you will need to learn self-hypnosis and then start working on your subconscious mind. That is a process that you need to learn. It's not difficult, but it is like you need to do some practice about it. You need to learn how to hypnotize and still stay in control. Paradoxical process. It can be done. Anyway, good. So today, many people have, I am sure, these questions in their mind that how to do meditation. So the way he said that make your mind and body stay in the same place, which I call as grounding. I'm going to practice grounding meditation with all of you. What is the process of grounding? Grounding meaning wherever your body is right now, you gather your mind and take it here with your body right now, so that you anchor your mind with your body. Mind can be unstable. It can go to your home right now while your body is still sitting here. Can your body move? No, your body can't move. So wherever your body is, if you can get all of your mind there, then your mind is stable and you can focus on your work. And that's why grounding is very, very helpful for professionals and for students. So let's do grounding meditation today. Okay? Keep whatever writing material you have aside. Just sit reasonably upright but not very tight in your chair. You can keep both your hands in your lap, and preferably don't cross your legs. Keep them flat on the ground, because we need to feel them on the ground. Now, in the grounding meditation, we are going to make use of our 5 senses, at least 3 of them. So, just simply close your eyes, and first we are going to focus only on the front part of your nose, from where the breath comes in and goes out. Only that part. Feel your breath in your nose. The incoming breath will feel slightly colder, and when you exhale, the outgoing breath will feel slightly warmer. Feel the breath. And as you breathe in and breathe out, feel your body loosening up. Focus on your neck muscles and feel them loosening up. You are still focusing on your breathing. Breath coming in, going out. Feel your shoulders loosening up now. Breath coming in and going out. Feel both your feet firmly planted on the ground. Feel the ground below your footwear. Breath coming in and going out. Feel the touch of the cold air of the AC on your skin. breath coming in and going out. And now I want you to feel your palms in your lap, which is touching your trouser. Feel your trouser. Feel the touch of the fabric. You are still focusing on the breath coming in and going out. How does the fabric feel? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it soft? Is it very, very soft? You are still focusing on your breath. Breath coming in and going out. Now you can feel your feet firmly planted on the ground, your hands on your trousers, your skin feeling the touch of the cold air, your inhaling breath that is colder, your muscles are relaxed, and you are still feeling your breath coming in and going out. You are sensing your entire body, palms, feet, skin, shoulders, muscles, breath coming in and going out. Breath coming in and going out. Breath coming in and going out. In and out. In and out. Whenever you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes now. How much time do you think we meditated? Just 5 minutes. Did it feel long? Very long. So these 5 minutes are actually this long and they are available to you. But if you are watching a video on YouTube, it seems to slip through as if, it was just a minute or two. So what I want to tell you is the perception of time is also very, very changeable, subjective to your mental state. If you are on autopilot, then time just passes by. If you are in the moment and watching what you do, time passes very slowly. So the next time you feel that, oh, I'm hurried, there is a presentation at 3 o'clock, or there is some submission at 3 o'clock, and there's no time, just sit down and breathe 2-3 minutes. Breathe slowly and deeply, and you will suddenly start feeling that, oh, you have a lot of time. You can do it. Simplest stress management method is breathing deep and start observing yourself, nothing else, mindfulness. Now, I hope you got your answer. This is the way you meditate. There are more meditation videos available on my YouTube channel also. Grounding meditation, focusing on different things in the mind also. So please do make use of those meditations. And I wish you really good mental health, emotional health and physical health. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Check.
I'll give it.
Dr. Meenal, thank you so much for that enriching session. I think everyone here would agree when I say that you not only just broke down those medical jargon and scientific terms for us, but actually took us through, how to actually connect with ourselves and how those jargons actually tie in with our daily activities. So thanks a lot. With that, we come to the end of our session. Refreshments are there being served onto your right. Thanks to everyone who joined at Utsa and also online. Thanks again.